Hey, what's up, family? So I'm checking in with y'all because I want to share some information that is or can be absolutely life changing, life altering. Um, and before I start, I just want to share that I talk a lot about the spiritual realm and tapping into the spiritual realm and activating and awakening your dormant DNA codes so that you can navigate through the spiritual realm, which, again, you can't see, feel, hear, taste, or use your five senses, your five physical 3D senses in the spiritual realm. A lot of navigating the spiritual realm entails what you feel. Okay. So when I present and bring information to you from the spiritual realm, or if you find any kind of information that someone is trying to present to you from the spiritual realm and they say that they get this information from the spiritual realm, I need you to measure that against your intuition, against your gut feeling, against your own resonance, your internal resonance. Like there's something inside of you that's going to feel, because again, the spiritual realm is about feeling. Something inside of you is going to feel like it resonates with the information. If you don't feel like you resonate with the information, then that may not be truth for you. Okay? It may not be truth at all based on what it is that you're listening to or finding. So with me or with anybody else, you know, tap into the feeling of the information that you're ingesting, to know whether or not it resonates or to know whether or not it sounds like bullshit. Okay? Because there are a lot of false prophets that are out here. A lot of people that, use their gifts for nefarious purposes. Which brings me to the topic that I want to talk about today. Um, Listen, this information that I got yesterday. So I got this from another spiritual truth teller that I follow on YouTube, right? And the information resonated in my spirit so strong that I had to share this with you all. I feel like this information is groundbreaking, life changing, life altering, is going to rock rock the realm, the earth realm, to its core, in the way that justice is brought back and restored into the earth realm for righteous beings. Okay. So it essentially, so I just wanted to preface this message with: use your discernment. Okay. When you hear these messages. But so the message that I got from, the message that I got yesterday. So actually, there's some messages that I've gotten from the universe. There's some messages that I've gotten from different spiritualists, and it's like putting pieces of the puzzle together. Okay, and so I do a lot of work with the moon, right? I do a lot of work with the new moon, the full moon, the new moon to manifest new blessings, the full moon to release things, out of my energy, like negative things that I don't want to block my new blessings from coming in. So I do a lot of work with the moon, and just recently, there was information that was pulled that says what the moon actually is responsible for. Okay. And I kind of wanted to, I'll do is I'll post some of the references and links to some of the videos that I got that kind of helped me to put the pieces of the puzzle together for this topic. But just be very patient as I walk through this, because I don't know how I don't know how far you are into your spiritual walk. I don't know if you've awakened. I don't know if you understand the lingo. So I want to break this down so that we can all get and eat this information, because it's very, very crucial. So essentially what it is that, the powers that were, which used to be the powers that be, which used to be the small group of billionaires and trillionaires that were responsible for running or trying to run the entire world. You know what I'm saying? Because there were certain countries and continents that they did not have power over. Okay. I would say like North Korea. Nobody's going to tell North Korea what to do. Russia. Nobody's going to tell Russia what to do. You know what I'm saying? These are sovereign nations. But for the most part, most of the world, they use their power, their money, their influence to control and puppeteer what happens in the world, right? So not only do these individuals sit in the shadows doing these things, but they also work in the spiritual realm. And that's what I've been, trying to disclose to our community, is that these beings have ties to the spiritual realm, and they have ties to nefarious entities in the spiritual realm that help them and guide them and show them, what kind of techniques to use, what technologies to implement, what magic that they can use and create to stay in power, right? To gain power and to stay in power. But I submit to you that any magic that is done is negated and is null and void once you're aware that it's been done. So I'm here to disclose to you the magic that they have done that has been revealed to the consciousness of some of the seers. Okay, some of us that get messages from the universe, we're able to see these things. So essentially what happens is, the moon was put in place millions of years ago, right? Ancient times, they call it a lunar emotional grid, okay? Lunar meaning, the moon. And so its function is to create cycles of emotional highs and lows, looping of trauma patterns, amplification of unresolved shadow issues, heightening of illusions and projections. It's supposed to also distort your perception of things during certain phases. And that is so important because there are certain individuals who incarnate on earth that have a huge pile of negative karmic debt. Okay? And so they're supposed to come to the earth realm and receive like the worst karma, the worst, the worst challenges and the worst circumstances and situations to help them learn, to help them grow, to help them, work through all the bad karma that they piled up, maybe from a previous life or from previous lifetimes. People come here, they incarnate here with a karmic ledger that the moon reads. The moon reads your karma, and she is going to kind of like situate your reality to reflect, because the moon is like a mirror. She's supposed to reflect circumstances, situations in your reality that unfold, that match your karma. But guess what? These nefarious beings that sit in the shadows have figured out a way to change their karma and destiny swap with us, those of us that come in with good karma, those of us that are righteous beings that incarnate into the planet with good karma, they have figured out a way in their false matrix system to swap out our good karma, take our good karma and put their negative karma on us. They have worked with entities in the spiritual realm to figure out how to use the moon's energy to swap out our good karma and give us their negative karma in a destiny swap type of situation. And if this information resonates with you in your spirit, you knowing this breaks the curse. Okay? You knowing this breaks the curse. So I'll give you an example as to how this hit me so deeply, because all of my life, like, I have been sowing good seeds. I'm a person, I sow nothing but good seeds from birth. You know what I'm saying? Through love, through kindness, through helping people. You know what I'm saying? I can't recall any time in my life that I've ever done anything purposefully to hurt another person. I've never in my entire life, bro, if you look at my life through a projector or through a lens, you will never find that I've ever done anything to hurt someone purposefully, to cause someone harm, even after they've hurt me. And I know that they've hurt me. I never wish harm on anybody. That's just not who I am. That's just not the cloth that I'm cut from. So all my life, I'm sowing and planting good seeds, doing things in the shadows that people can't even see to help other people out when people are struggling, when people need, when people need things. The whole Good Samaritan, that's just encoded in the fabric of who I am. And so all of these good seeds that I've been planting, and I'm thinking, I'm as an adult, I'm looking at it like, bro, what is going on with universal law? Universal law is supposed to be, you reap what you sow. At this point in my life, in this stage in my life, all of the good seeds that I've sown, I should be a gazillionaire. Like, my life should be flowing with beautiful everything based on the lifetime of good seeds that I've sown. Based on a lifetime of challenges and, conflict that I fought through, and still held the light, still carried the flame of love willingly and openly. All the relationships that I've tried and attempted to be in that were destroyed. You know what I mean? By karma, by this karmic loop. This karmic ledger that was manipulated and swapped and switched. Now I get it. Now the light bulb has come on. Now I get it. It took me so long to get to a breakthrough. But let me back up for a minute, because although this destiny swap magic was created and done using the energy of the moon and the moon cycles, from what the spiritualist shared, on her channel, was like, these individuals have a calendar that they work with the moon cycles to implement these, to renew these the false karmic ledgers, the false destiny swaps. They renew these things, and they were able to sneak in to the earth realm cloaked. They were able, their predecessors long before, however they made it in, they were able to sneak into the earth realm under a cloaking of their true karma, so that the system could not read their true karma. And once they got here, they carried the codes to do this swap, for the rest of their people, to let the rest of their people in. And this is how we find ourselves. So, for so long, we've always heard that, oh, the black race was cursed. The black race was cursed. There was, some curse put on us. Well, if there's anywhere to look at a curse, in my understanding, that would be the place. That would be the place. So with that understanding, we pull our power back. We snatch our true karmic ledgers back from these nefarious beings and entities that have destiny swapped out our destinies. Reclaim our original karmic ledgers and break these spells and curses off of our lineage. These spells and curses of karma that they were supposed to get. The moon was supposed to bring these realities, these circumstances of struggle, strife, hardship to people who deserved it. Not to good people who incarnated here with good karma. We were supposed to come here and live good. So I'm telling you this because now that we are aware, now we can break these curses off of our lineage. Take back the true karmic codes of the true karmic ledger, of the true and organic matrix, not the false matrix that was created. And oh, by the way, the false matrix is crumbling and falling apart as we speak. So now the universe is able to balance out and actually read the true karma and restore the true karma, and restore new karmic ledgers for the new earth, because the old earth is passing away. The old earth is passing away, family. And when I say old earth, it's old consciousness. All of this is spiritual technology. The moon, our emotions, our subconscious, our minds. This is all spiritual technology. All of that crap, all of that old earth stuff is going away. The new heaven consciousness and the new earth, the physical body, the physical realm is here now. It's moving in now. So now we have new karmic ledgers, updated karmic ledgers that are coming in, that are righting the wrongs of everything that was done for the past 2,000 years. Bro, knowing is half the battle. Knowing is half the battle, and being aligned and being able to navigate in the spiritual realm so that you can get messages from the universe. Sometimes they may not make sense as you get them. Like, this information that I'm giving you are puzzle pieces that I've been finding, like on my journey for the past probably 10 or 20 years. And now it all is coming together. It's all coming together to make sense because we've moved into the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is the age of enlightenment, consciousness, awareness. The new heaven, the new earth, the promised land. This is what it is. This is what Yeshua was trying to get us towards, to get us to. The promised land. So I hope this message made sense. I hope that it was one that you were able to digest. I hope I wasn't, because I'm so I feel like I said, I want to speak so that we can all, ingest the information. I don't want to use terms that are too spiritually advanced, because then that would be meaningless and pointless for our community to grow, because we're all moving at different levels. So there may be some individuals, that subscribe to the channel that are way more advanced spiritually than I am. But again, I just want us all to win and all to grow together. So yeah. So if you're wondering, why it is, the universe says the universal law is you reap what you sow. Why am I not seeing the seeds of abundance for all of the beautiful seeds that I've sown into the earth realm since I've reincarnated back into, you may be asking yourself these questions. You may have wondered, how come, I look at like, again, I always reflect back to the Rastafarian community, because Spirit really opened my eyes when I got to go there and see how they live and see how they, nobody's perfect, but everybody, strives to live from a place of love. That's their number one foundation, love, and then they're tied to nature. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, that's those are the only two, look, I'm holding up four fingers, but those are the only two requirements to live a good life here on planet Earth. Is to live from a place of love and to be tied to nature. That's it. That's it. Look at the animals. The animals come here and they live good. They live on autopilot. They live good. They live in their communities, and they live good. So, yeah, that was shocking information for me to learn, that these beings figured out a way via their connections in the spiritual realm to circumvent the moon inflicting the realities onto them that they rightfully deserved by destiny swapping with beings that had good karma, that incarnated with good karma. All right, family. So that's the message. Yeah. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Whew. And I'm going to pull some cards on this message to see if the universe wants me to elaborate more on this message. We'll see what the universe gives us, okay? All right, love. Mwah. Love and bless. Bye.